Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I'm just going to make this as a recorded video to put it out, and then I'm going to go to bed. I'm very extremely tired. First of all, I wanted to say congratulations to Holly Undead as the new queen of Boyt. She takes over her reign, I believe, in January 1st. So congratulations. We finally have one that has been elected as opposed to one that just, self-imposed put themselves there. And we do have some rules now too. I mean, you can't be a felon, you got to be seen on camera, a few rules like that, but congratulations on that. Then I've heard that your stream got, I'm hearing some little bit of it, that your stream got taken down by porn. And you think it's Vinny? Vinny, you did the same thing to me. And I listened to you in there, and you denied that you did it to me in the exact same way that you denied that you did it to her. You were going to show me things on your screen. You were going to prove it. You were going to, later on, you did come clean. And that was really nice. But right away, it was like a carbon copy of what you did tonight. I don't know if you're just angry at her because she, was friends with D-Dub and whatever, but, you should kick yourself for that, Vinny. And don't take it out on her. You really shouldn't. That's very immature and childish. Just buck up like a man and don't take it out on her. But on one side, you could see, Holly, it is think of it as your induction night into Boyt officially. And you have this happen to you. But my guess is that Vinny will apologize in a couple of months and give you a super chat, and it'll be good. I don't know why you do that, Vinny. It's just not cool. It's just not cool. I believe you did it because from what I'm hearing, the same way that you said you didn't do it, you did the same thing to me. Anyways, I wanted to talk about this, not that long, but just say a few things. I am headed to out for a week. Not going to say where I'm going, but I'm going to be gone for a week and getting things ready. Just lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff going on here for me, and it's good news. I wanted to talk about the D-Dub thing because I just wanted to say something. I guess I wanted to ask myself the reason why I was feeling perturbed or annoyed. I don't like the fake outrage either. And I'm not even necessarily, I'm not outraged, fake or otherwise, at D. I'm really not. Not like a lot of you people are. I'm not, even if it may have come across that way. I realize that. Just in that one stream I said something, but it really wasn't for this. I'll tell you what it is. It wasn't for that. Because you don't know the story. I believe that the story sounds a lot convoluted, would have you, but hey, it's his thing to deal with, and here's the reason why I'm mad. Very angry. I'm very angry, number one, because he was going to live here, and I remember asking Rory, like, we don't even know his name isn't like D-Dubs. Like, we don't even know his name. I'm so glad I followed my gut because we legit didn't know his name. So that's something, I hope I'm in here. Nope, I'm in there, good. We don't even know his name, so I said, no, I don't feel comfortable around him, which is what basically everybody should have done. When you don't know somebody like that, I was brought up to where you don't welcome them. That's just how I was brought up. You don't. And in this instance, our mothers and fathers would have been right. And D, again, please don't take that as this is a trash thing on you. I feel now, I can feel it. I know it's going to happen. It's going to be all piling on D, and all these people who were doing something else a couple of weeks ago are now going to be piling on, like Vinny G, like the other ones. And you know what? You know what, guys? This is what pisses me off. Because those of us who are not afraid to not be sheeple knew that what happened in Florida was pretty major. But because of your hatred and your targeted trolling on Mallory, you let that slide. Not only did you let that slide, you paid him more. So that hypocrisy that seems to just be all over the place here could have gotten somebody hurt. I'm so glad I always come out the smart one, and I don't care how cocky that sounds. I'm so glad that me and my critically thinking people who don't have to follow the crowd, who I don't have to have a friend that I'm going to go against them because I'm a stupid piece of shit who can't think for themselves. Can't think for themselves. Why were you all doing it? Why was it all okay to have those knives? And you defended it saying Mallory was asking for it. Is that what the other people, is that what that 12-year-old, was she asking for it too? A lot of you are really wrong. And if something would have really bad to have happened, then shame on you. I don't know the story. I don't know the drill. But also, if I find out that more people knew this sexual side and didn't say anything and let that man with those charges go and live with 2 young boys, because Rory did not, her and her husband did not know about that. Did not know about that. But other people along the way got stopped by the cops. Stories changed. Plans changed. Suddenly it wasn't going to be Dee and Rosie traveling together. Suddenly it was all changed. Is it like just dump them on somebody else and like off you go? So that's good. And I'm sorry, Rosie, I am coming down on you, but was that the deal? Was it the deal of like just dump them? You know, like you knew you're FBI. You're smart enough to do that. You Googled his name and you saw his charges. And I'm aware that he told Rory later on, past all of this, that there was that whole convoluted story of the 12-year-old and the 14, whether or not it's real or not, I don't know. The story could be real. The story could be real. From what people are asking, lots of people are asking, they were saying that it's to get the level of a lifelong registering. It's not just because, you know, and under 12, she could be 10. Just under 12 could be a 10-year-old, could be a 9-year-old. And you were in foster care? So maybe you were 16 and you were diddling around with the 9-year-old. I mean, we don't know the deal. And Dee, you trolled and slammed RV Davey. And let me tell you, people, I am so proud of myself yet again, because when I looked into his records, and you can get them, yes, he does have that on there. He has possession of child pornography, age of 12. It's all on there. Age of 12, one picture found on his camera. Okay, yes, bad enough. Really, really bad enough. With something just like that, and if that was the case, I still wouldn't want to be friends with the person. Okay, still wouldn't want to be. However, I understood the story. Number 2, later on down the line, after RV Davey pled. Why did he plead? Because he wouldn't have to give any jail time. He owned his own townhome and had a very good job. He would lose all that defending that. He would lose all of that defending that. And then, or he was looking at, you know what? He said after signing off, and you have to be on probation for all of those years, not a lifetime like the other one was, but because it's very strict. And guess what? He didn't have anything else on his record. Look at it. Never a single thing after that. Never any instances. He was the perfect one there. And his probation officer and the people there said, you got a raw deal. Tasha, I heard Tasha talking to, she agrees it was abuse of the legal system. But you guys jumped on that. I researched the story. Why? Because I have a thing, and I don't care if you guys think that this is like Zen thing or whatever. I see the goodness in Davy. I see the goodness in Davy. I do. Yes, I have a heart, so when I see somebody is completely being trolled, I wanted to find out the true story about everything. And then I also spoke to his lifelong friends. So I would hope somebody, after hearing this story, he's in the hospital right now. He's going to die. He's going to die. He needs a kidney like right now. He's got to do constant dialysis. Not this Friday dialysis, Dave. It's constant dialysis that he has to do because they found him. I mean, if you guys want to hear the story again after how he was found, he's never hurt anybody. His friends describe him as just like the gentlest soul. His bark is worse than his bite. And it's because he gets trolled. He gets trolled. He's not a pervert. He's not a pervert at all. At all. And the father of the niece was convicted and spent either his life or many years in prison for molesting that daughter. The one that R.V. Davies said the whole time was the one that did it, took the picture with his camera. And he's the one who spent the time in jail afterwards because of that. There's so much more to the story that's so obviously apparent that it was like, I didn't want to get into this with you guys because I'm not going to try to push my friend or my views on anybody else. I'm not. I understand I still wouldn't bring him around Rory's kids or do anything. I'm still very, very safe. But then you got the other one. The one that actually could be bad. Is making this guy's life hell at any turn that he can do. So I hope you stop that, Dee. In fact, I said to Rory before, I said, was he ever in prison? And she said, no, I don't think so. And I said, because usually, I always hear stories, guys in prison, they get pretty like ramped up around like pedos because like they always want to kill him in prison and stuff. So it's kind of like, was he in prison? Because his anger towards this. I mean, I know men especially get mad at that. I mean, women do too. Mothers, fathers, all that stuff get really angry. But to that level of obsession that you had, again, I really don't blame you, Dee. Your other charges, they let you skirt by. From Boyt, you would have been found a long time ago. You would have been found out, but just reverse image search your picture. Now people can see. Because you've got, have they even found the 3 mug shots out there yet? I think they found 1. I myself have seen 2 or 3 that I've seen. And we truly never believe the stories, dude. I mean, and I don't hate you, but we never believe the stories. The winery was in your garage, your dad's garage. There wasn't a winery or your mother's garage. There wasn't all this stuff, which is, no biggie, but it all just goes to the whole thing that, Lindy, who was the one that told you about this, Lindy guys out there has been the one closest to him. Lindy was the one that texted her best friend right away and told him about this, gave him the heads up on all this. It was Lindy. But I don't want any trouble from you, Dee. And I don't hate you. And I hope that you get your life back together. I hope you get your life back together. I do hope you give proper props to people like Randy and Rory for all that they did for you. I do hope that you start to see things, a little bit more accurately about how things went down, how much she gave you a lot of money all the time. And then you said to her, that you should be making more. She was paying you $100 a day and you weren't even doing electricity or plumbing. You got a lot of passes because of Rosie. I remember when Dave first saw you, Dave said, "Who let that homeless meth guy in my house?" But you were Rosie's friend. I was almost being pushed into letting you live here. I wasn't born that way. I wasn't born that way. And I don't think most people at the bottom of YouTube were either. And I really hope it wasn't known before and not told to Rory. Because there was a stop along the way. So this would have had to have been found out. And plans did change. And suddenly Rosie became somebody that you couldn't get a hold of that much often. But nobody else knew. Why didn't anybody else tell anybody else? Why? Because people were like covering the bottom of YouTube was like still going, oh shit, you know, look what we did to Mallory. Which brings me to this. And I don't think right now that Stellar is going to have a problem with this. In exactly 3 weeks from Tuesday, I will get a bigger chunk of my money, Mallory. With that, and unless Stellar throws a fit about it, I am going to give you the whole $1,000 because you are the one who has suffered the most. You were the one because they wanted to target and bully you and say that you're not really a woman and that you have to bring your whole bottles of medicine. You know what I do when I go on a little weekend thing? I put the medicine that I need in my coin purse because we girls know not to carry a lot of stuff. We don't carry 12 pairs of shoes and 50 knives because we're kind of like a little bit smarter than that. Don't want to carry it around. You've been treated horribly by Vinny. I know that you've made up now with Tucker, and that's honestly, truly great. Truly great. But I would really hope you have a lot more apologies from people because something bad could have happened because of the hypocrisy that goes on YouTube and in Boyt. The hypocrisy kept anybody else. If it wasn't Mallory involved, you would have been checking him out a long time ago. Trolls would have found out a long time ago. I understand the information was pretty easy to find and pops up right away. When I had the name, finally, a couple days later, I looked at it and it was the first thing that popped up. But you had to cover. You had to cover for a while. He still had to be your poster boy. Otherwise, it would mean that you're wrong. And guess what? You're wrong. And we were right yet again. Mallory was right yet again. Learn to love it. And Stellar, I want to say to you this. Although we've had problems, and you know why I'm angry. I'm angry because you lied to me and that you tried to get me in trouble with PayPal. But I'm a person who always pays back. I'm a person that I've told my friends right now to stop me from giving more because I'm a very giving person. So it's not in me to screw somebody over or do anything like that. But you never apologize to me for that shit. You know you just lied about it when I have the proof. When I have the proof. We already had a deal and you took that deal and said, you know, forget it, maybe she won't do it. I'm going to go to PayPal and tell them that she lied, that it was stolen. And they told you, well, it's going to be taken out of her account and it's going to put it in arrears. And you said, fine, go ahead. And it did. It put me in arrears. And I was freaking out for half the day until I spent, you know, a couple hours on the phone and emailing with people and they put it back because it was the right thing to do. But I'm also a person of my word, so I am going to give it back to a charity. Through this, because I wanted to stop, I'm not like Lindy and wants to keep things going. Looney's insane. Anybody who doesn't see that now, I don't know. I don't know where you're at if you don't see that. Literally, the videos that Vlogger Puppets does is perfect. Do you see him doing a lot on me? No, the ones that you see him doing the videos on are the ones that need the work. If you haven't gotten what he does, then you really haven't gotten it. It's a deeper story to what he's saying there. And having Lindy literally wearing somebody else's skin, one day it's mine, one day it's Rory's, one day it's Corey's, one day it's Becca's, one day it's Mara's, one day it's Tucci's, whoever the skin is that day. Because she's insane. And you know that, Tucker. You won't admit it, though. You won't. You guys know. And I'm going to be, oh, I got these 2 words to say to you, Lindy, to let you know that we are so much further along. Ready for the word? Watch list. How many watch lists are you on, Looney? I shouldn't have even let that out, but we got a lot more. We got a lot more. I know what I can say now because I've hired somebody. And I know what I can't say now. So every time, like tonight when you were triggered and you had to go do a stream on me, I know that what I said was nothing that was bad. But it just gives me more to download into your file. And I'm not going to let this end. And one day, everybody, like everything else, like about MB Race, when I was going around telling everybody she's faking her death, just like faking her death in other communities. You had a suicide death faker by the name of Rainbow over in the other community. You got them all over the place. Ours was MB. Did it multiple times. Planned her assisted suicide. Planned her assisted suicide. I was right about that. I was right about RV Davey, that he's not a bad person. See, when I see somebody, I see a good light. I see inside of them. Not always right. Not always right. Because I'm too much wanting to see good. Like Lindy wanting to see bad. I choose to take a negative and make it into a positive. Because that's just how I am. And yeah, I can come across bitchy sometimes. Because I'm smart. So I can use my words like a razor sharp knife to cut you to the quick. And sometimes it feels damn good. And sometimes I feel regret for some of the things that I've said. But I know that for the most part, Boyt is a very good and loving place. There's just a lot of people who are afraid to speak out on some certain things. That's why I'm an island. I am myself. I am not part of anything. My heart will always be there because I have really good friends. Really good friends, good people. But you let poisons like Jack Sparrow, who's a poison. Looney is a poison. Anyways, that's my little self-righteous rant for the night. And I do mean congratulations, Holly. Sorry you had that happen tonight, but if, I would, not that it matters to anything, but my guess truly would be that it would be Vinny, because the exact same story happened to me. I could tell you my story if you wanted to, but what's it going to get? I don't know why you do it. I don't know if you guys saw the Vlogger Puppets one the other day, which was so telling, and I wish these men would see it and see how they look to us. When you've got the men who have had major health issues, a lot of them, not just picking on a couple, there's a lot of them. And it was called Tough Guys. And I know inside they're still men. I know that. I get that. I know they still want to be men, in their minds, they're still men. There are still men. I'm not saying that. But just look back and see how it looks to be like this tough guy saying you're going to go out there and beat somebody up. Like, why are you going to beat Elvis up? Why are you going to beat Elvis up for? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? I mean, if your mom or dad were alive, or if they are, would they say, yeah, son, daughter, that's a great thing to go beat him up and risk going to jail? I mean, even if it's not, I'm not even talking about so because you don't want to hurt him. You risk going to jail knowingly, and this is something that you could easily just not do. Anyways, I better go to sleep because I am feeling very self-righteous. Had a horrible dream last night. I won't tell you about that now. I'll tell you about that some other time. But I'm going to post this up, and you guys have a good Saturday, and I will talk to you later. Keep living your most glamorous life. Bye-bye.